We are live. It is week 9, game number 4 of the 2021 NFL season. It is between the Detroit Lions going up against the Minnesota Vikings. We are in Minnesota. We'll let this go. See you after the week.
We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago, when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Dan Bailey now put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Taking with a couple of yards into the end zone. And he stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions making their way out, led by their 32-year-old quarterback. Hard to believe he's in season number 12 now in a Detroit uniform. Quarterback Matthew Stafford.
When I think of Matthew Stafford in Detroit, I think of numbers, and I mean passing numbers. 40,000 yards passed in his career last year before back entry landed on the IR for just 8 games. And to show his value to the team, the Lions lost all 8 games started by either Jeff Driscoll or David Blau. They need a healthy Matthew Stafford in order to compete in the NFC North.
Now first down throw, Stafford. And this will be caught. A good start offensively, 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man is Galladay complete. He stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So if they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The first carry down, this is Johnson. That will be brought down at the 48-yard line. For a gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, there's zero doubt that the Detroit Lions might carry on Johnson's ability, but he's been dinged up a little bit in his first 2 years in the NFL, so they went out and used a day 2 pick this past year on DeAndre Swift, the rookie runner out of Georgia, hoping, I think, to pair them together and maybe send a message. But I think if Kerryon Johnson can stay on the field, he could be a highly productive back in the NFL.
Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Nice job there utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the gun, Stafford. Another time and goal. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. How about to start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew up for this first drive going to plan so far. First and 10 and Swift. And that would blow up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before it can even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Here's Amendola now, jet sweep. And Piper running here down the 6-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like we just saw there. And to say that would work well for him, that's stating the obvious.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead at 7-0. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. It's the kickoff unit as the run-up and send this one away. Now KJ Osborne. Stopped out at the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
The debate about Kirk Cousins continues to rage both among Vikings fans and fans around the league. But when you look at his numbers, you think this is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Last year broke a string of 4 straight 4,000-yard passing years with the emergence of Dalvin Cook in the backfield. So while those numbers dropped, he was still solid throwing the football. 26 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. Now he just got to drop an extra target on the perimeter in order to get his numbers back to the previous levels.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first carry down for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just beat the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
after the loss to start out. Here's second and 11. To throw, Cousins. The Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a third and long. Throwing, Cousins. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So seeing his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
They'll run on first down. Swift will get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Barbara, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's to the clock and out the 5. He will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Swift. And the Lions are going to be set up with first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
But Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll run Swift, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out, and the Lions add on to their lead.
But got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Prater on and the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Cousins. It's incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And it's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of the 1st down.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on a punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Detroit's offense ready to take over. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from it too.
And they're just looking to add to that total. He's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. Well, a few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now that after the sack, would be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Stafford going to give it to Swift. They will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him locked up where he has an altar when he does.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's able to get this one out to the 8-yard line this time. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. But just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try to get the ball off and help his defense.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It's a 52-yard punt, not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings head out to take over once again. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving into more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. There's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you can do worse than a 40-yard run on 1st down.
Nice throw here right side. He holds it in. And he's going to have a 1st down on a gain of about 10. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in his first half of action. There's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might be pretty big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And this will take it in on the right side, but not interfere the play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
The deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. It's again. It's on 4 down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
The average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And dropping swing to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Kenny Galladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. 2nd quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defense do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
So far, just a single catch. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's taken down. Back in his own 7. Jaleel Johnson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack to lose that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Jack Fox now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That time, 57 yards the official distance. They have control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Working out the gun, Cousins. Lions pressure, he's about to go. And they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burned the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say, we'll see what happens. Here's Bretton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here this first half as he gets it away. On the return, here's Agnew. So we've come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the veteran quarterback, Matthew Stafford. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Travis Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Here's Osborne. And able to get this out to the 25. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. These guys had a punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. For the shotgun, will throw. That'll be complete to Cook. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice short tackle.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's again to Cook. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Cook. He will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Down to inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On the ground, it's Swift to stop the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Defensive off. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down limit. Running is Swift. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Touchdown, Minnesota. third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Now they block it the Orange to go and they take it into the end zone for 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they're getting down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. Stafford. It's incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even at a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Swift. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on 3rd down, nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Stafford. Open man, he's got the tight end, Hawkinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here comes the Lions punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. They're going to break the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside of the 5. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try to chip someone at the second level.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is going to do it. It's the part of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense got to stop, forced the punt, and then to really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slow lead. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And finally Swift out of the backfield. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
An important play right here, 4th and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
The Vikings driven and they get there for the sack. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save? That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle, because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. But you have to be athletic to try to block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. A 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, he'll throw. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. One thing I think think it's safe to say defensively the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. Here to 35, right to 34 here. That one, first down, pickup of 8.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
Following a good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Cousins, setting up the screen for Cook. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down much down here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now left side of the swing pass. There's going to be a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right of the yard.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins, incomplete, right side of the tight end roll. 4 yards to pick up, 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
First down, here's Cousins. He gets it left side of Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make the play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So the Vikings in possession of football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And the result here, pick up of 8. Needs over 2 to go on 2nd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Back to throw. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Brandon, a lot of times you'll see running backs rotate in and out of the game, whether it's completed pass, a good run, it doesn't matter. Here, not only does he stay in, but they go right back to it. And he makes another nice play. Back-to-back catches.
Now a dump off here complete. Down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, Parker. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Cousins. It's caught at the 7-yard line. Now the snap will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Here's Cousins. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You saved them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Cousins to throw. Seconds there. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. Now Cousins. It's a touchdown. And now 5 seconds of PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. You see some fans holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
So now this to get them back to even heading into the break. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So now this to get them back to even heading into the break. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. So that was a 13-play drive in total. And the touchdown capped off by the PAT, and that means that we are likely heading to overtime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kicks away. Here's Osborne. Just shy of the 30-yard line. And out comes Minnesota. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of Going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
And as we said, they control their own destiny now. A 10th carry of the game for Cook. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, the yards count either way.
Almost had it. Would have been a big interception here at OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. From the gun, here's Cousins. Complete to Beebe. And he will have the Vikings first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Cousins. It's going to be another first down. It's going to be the Lions 42. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive continue. It's a first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Okay, that's a huge completion there. Puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. When you do these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. On first down, it's Cook. He's got some breathing room. And they get this down to the 10. A good game again. That's it. 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now we'll run with Cook. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to him.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run, Cook, and that play goes absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
They need 5 yards on third down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Cousins. But it's incomplete. Nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and don't force it.
Bailey's kick is good. Vikings have to play up the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here in the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we have the sudden death. But the defense can hold it, take the ball away, turn it over on downs. This game's over.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll give it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. First throw in overtime for Stafford. And down he goes. He came in at the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block it.
They beat it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better. They're trying to figure out 3rd and 1.
It's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the gun, Stafford. I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again. Stafford. Now that's in and goal. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get the steam going.
The 2nd down completion got 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He's a man, T.J. Hawkinson. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down but he was able to get it by play. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Stafford to his second-year tight end Hawkinson for a Lion first down. From the 15th, Stafford. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's caught out by Amendola. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's got it. Guys, man on the end route. Complete. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes that are going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there is they were able to connect. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this roll to Johnson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. But I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock them free and protect their end zone.
Like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Throw end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd goal. Throwing again. Stafford. That's complete. Right around the end. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him up to each defender. And then making a nice play, even though it was complete. They really had a good drive going there, and a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. But we got just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to keep the game alive. And the 13-year man puts it through. And we are tied once again here in the overtime section. Both teams swapping field goals on their respective first drives of overtime. So now, you know the drill. It's on to old school sudden death.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, doesn't it? Can I be a little bit of Dennis Downer here, though? That drive, able to go that far, yet they had to kick the field goal to keep playing. You would have thought maybe could they punch it in and go ahead and end it?
We get more free football.
Oh yeah, good point. I'm back upbeat again. Forget the Downer stuff.
So we're right back where we started, all even as it gets away. Here's Osborne. Brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes Kirk Cousins now, leading his offense back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot now. He's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and have someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself. And that's what he's done here in this game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And partner, I've not been a huge fan of a certain cliche, but it does actually apply here. Who actually wants it more now? I mean, both of them get field goals here in overtime.
Yeah, they've been out there a long time trading field goals. Now we'll see who wants it more.
Their mental conditioning as well as physical conditioning is going to determine who wins this one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. Pass at the tight end. They get him down. 4 takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to let the football in and gain significant yardage.
Another toe for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He's got down. It's a full race. He's on the end zone for the touchdown. Game team. To see it, making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime. A little bit cream on it.
Look at you, trying to make this like a deal.
I just had to get ready for my
You really just want to throw corners on top of it. How much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we got the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gott. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
They have the Vikings winners over the line 23-17. I'm going to end this stream. I'll be back with another live stream tomorrow. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day and night.